Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit. Brexit Britain, a country who decided it wanted to be a daredevil. Britain decided it would be a good idea to allow rookie knife throwers to throw knives around it. That's a bad idea. And also, guys, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me, and a special thanks here to everyone who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, and I really do mean that. I'll go through all the messages, I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. So, look, it's all come out. It's all come out now, right? That apparently, right, Boris Johnson had a lovely party last year on the 18th of December, right? But hold on a minute. The 18th of December, right? Wasn't we was all told that we couldn't have parties, no work parties, no work dinners, no lunches, no breakfasts, nothing like that, no social occasions or anything like that, right? You couldn't go to parties. In fact, right, there was £10,000 fines issued to people, £10,000 issued because we wasn't allowed to have parties. But Boris Johnson today openly said, you know what? No COVID rules was broken. Hold on a minute. But you wasn't supposed to be having a party. Right, so therefore you've immediately broken COVID rules if you've had a party. So he hasn't denied it; he's admitted it. That means that no rules was broken. You see how these guys just work off that. You know what? You people, I'm saying you people here because I don't vote for Boris Johnson. I would never vote for Boris Johnson. Right, so you people are just minions as far as he's concerned. Right, he, right, is above the lot of you. He's just above all of you. I mean, he can, you know what? He could just get his man to just lie about Barnard's Castle and just say, you know what? The man had to test his eyesight. Has anybody, right, asked a traffic policeman, right, whether or not whether that's okay to to drive your car to test your eyesight? I just wonder if a traffic whether or not a traffic policeman would have anything, because none of them have said anything. Well, as far as I haven't heard any of them say, well, actually, that's like a criminal offence, right there, because if you're blind, right, you shouldn't be driving a car, right. I've never drove a car to test my eyesight. If I want to test my eyesight, I'd go to Specsavers or to maybe a local opticians. Right? I'm sure there's plenty about. Right? But I certainly wouldn't get in my car and go and drive 30 miles to go and test my fucking eyesight. Right? But yeah, so when the man could just say that, you know what, oh yeah, I was testing my eyesight. Yeah, I buy £1,000 a roll of wallpaper. In fact, somebody else buys it for me, and when I get caught out, right, I give them back their money as if to say I was going to do that all the time, and I wasn't ready. I just got one of them to buy. But he's probably got money back for that anyway, right? But so Boris Johnson's just like, well, why are you making all these things political? Right? Who cares about a party? What people care about, right, is what we are doing for the country. That's what people care about. People don't care about wallpaper, right? And people certainly don't care, right, about us breaking COVID rules, having a party, right? Stop making this political. Just you mean so? Are you serious? But that's what he does. He does that every single time. Every single time he's under pressure, right? Oh, well, you're making this partisan. Oh, you're making this political. Well, everything you do is political, mate, because you're a fucking politician. Firstly, right? So whatever you do is political, right? When do you not give political speeches? All your speeches are political, right? So, do you know what I mean? Right, but any time he's caught out with anything, oh well, you're making this political, right? But for us, we're like, well, how much people got £10,000 fines? How much people got nicked? £10,000 fines. Police going and breaking up parties, right? The very same police, right, who know that their colleagues, right, are lying to the public. Because to get into Downing Street, how much police officers do you have to get past to get into Downing Street? How many police officers? right? And then, right, you're talking about Westminster now, right? So up there, right, there's a lot of police activity. So even in the lockdown, right, how the hell did so many people get to go into a party in Downing Street, right, without the police knowing exactly what's going on? So the police know exactly what's going on, and they know that their colleagues, right, are out arresting people, right, and giving them £10,000 fines. Their colleagues are out doing that, while these police officers are protecting these very same people, right, who have got these laws on us. They're protecting them. They know exactly what's going on, because it's all of it. Yeah, it's all corruption. Right, in the same way, right, how they just said to Cressida Dick, oh yeah, we've got confidence in Cressida Dick, right? The woman is more corrupt than any other chief police officer we've ever had, or commissioner, whatever the hell she is, right? Commissioner Dick, right? She, right, is the John Charles de Menzies, right? Then her filthy little hands has been all over the murder of that, some all over the murder of that private detective, right? That all just come out last year and all that. But these guys have still got confidence in her. No wonder the police wouldn't investigate none of this £37 billion how they just stole that money from us. No wonder what's the police going to investigate? They ain't got nothing to investigate, because all of these people, they're all in it together. Remember, she works for them, Right? So they could just, the Home Secretary could just say, so listen, shut it down, right? Or we shut you down. Simple, right? Done. Right? So they can't even, when they're talking about the police investigating the Tory, remember, you've got to remember, all these people, they're all corrupt. There's corruption going from top to bottom where it is from these guys. Do you know what I mean? However you look at it. Right? Because how the hell, right, can they be keeping? But then something, right? If you look at the situation, right, there's only one pub in this country, yeah, where you can have a pint and a fag. Only one, and that's in their building. It's the only one. So when they could just do stuff like that blatantly, do you know what I mean? And then even talk about their wine cellar, how much millions of pounds is their wine? These guys have got the most expensive wines in the world in that wine cellar in the House of Parliament. Do you know what I mean? Done. Do you know what I mean? When these guys, and how they could just say, what, yeah, okay, we're getting £83,000 a year, right? But we still need to get £26,000 for rent. When they could just do those things blatantly, right? Then something. What can you do? What can people do? You can't say I'll do nothing. Do you know what I mean? So now, right, all of this, right, they'll just be like, well, something, yeah. People are interested, right, in what we're doing for the country. They're not interested in my £1,000 a roll wallpaper. They're not interested in that. They're not interested in parties. They're interested in 40 new hospitals. Okay, but some of these hospitals are just going to be refurbished. But that, right, look, if I, right, put a new bathroom in my house, does that mean I've got a new house? Yes. I'm like, no, but in Boris Johnson's world, it means yes. It means yes, you have got a new house, right? Because you know what, you put a new bathroom in, new house. How about if I paint all the walls? If I paint all the walls, right, and change the door knocker, I've got a new house, right? Yeah. I'm sure there's a way, right, that you can refurb a hospital and say this hospital is a new hospital. It's just on the same old grounds that where the old hospital was, but it is a new hospital. I'm sure somehow. No, you can't do that. But that's what Boris Johnson's doing. That's what he's just doing. He's just like, 40 new hospitals. Yay. Right? And, and I don't know. Because, you people voted for him. And you know me already, I don't like to call you stupid. I do really. But But you've got to think to yourself now. Come on, man. If I voted for Boris Johnson, right, there's got to be something wrong with me. That's what you've got to be thinking to yourself, right? And look, okay, all right. Let's move on to one of Jacob. Let's move on to one of Boris Johnson's pals, right? Jacob Rees-Mogg, right, the Speaker of the House, right, the man who had to backpedal a couple of weeks ago. And let me tell you something, yeah, backpedaling on a penny farthing is not easy. Okay, right? But the man had to backpedal a couple of weeks ago, innit, with the whole Owen Patterson thing, right? But you see, what you got to understand, right, is Jacob Rees-Mogg was actually playing the longer game because he knew, right, that the shit was just about to hit the fan with him, and he knew that these people was going to start investigating him. He knew that. He would have known that. He would have known this. He would have known this, right, long before Owen Patterson, before he started that debacle with Owen Patterson, right? Because as soon as he saw that, he would have known, oh, this could blow up and this could come back on me, right? Because for my business in the Cayman Islands, I got a cheap £6 million loan, and when we say cheap, that's probably going to be interest free. Right, because he got it from his own company in the Cayman Islands. You know what I mean? So everyone's like, I don't know how it works, right? But I do know that somewhere along the line they're investigating it. But let me tell you, nothing's going to come of it. Okay, nothing's going to come of it, right? And so, but Jacob Rees-Mogg has tried to deflect, right? In fact, he tried to get rid of the very same committee that is investigating him right now. Now you have to wonder. I wonder why he's done that. And listen. Don't look at Jacob Rees-Mogg, right, and think to yourself, hold on a minute. You're telling me that this man, right, who has just recently, right, voted to take £20 off the lowest earners in the country, right, got himself a £6 million loan, interest free. Yeah, but he needs that money. I mean, have you seen the castle that he lives in, or palace, right? But no, it's not a castle. It's more of a palace, right? Have you seen? Right, just look up his house, right? It must be Somerset or wherever, where in his constituency, where the people who vote for Jacob Rees-Mogg have looked around and thought to themselves, of all the people that we want to send, right, into the House of Parliament, right, we're going to send someone, right, from 1874. Seriously, that's really the best you could send from your district, and you're not ashamed of it. Just seriously, do you know what I mean? And you think to yourself, seriously, this man, right, has been looking down upon you your whole life, and then you want to put him to even look further, so put him up even further, so he can look even further down on you. What's wrong with these people? Why do you get someone, someone, right, who's going to look out for your interests, right, for your interests? But no, these people are just like, you know what? No. We think that Jacob Rees-Mogg, right, a man who needs a £6 million loan, interest-free loan, right, who's taken £20 off the lowest earners in the country, we think that he should be representing us. Give me a fucking break. Seriously, give me a break. Right? I just don't. You see, I don't get the people. I don't get Tory voters at all. Don't get them at all. Right? You look at this level of corruption, right? And you can tell me, right, that this level of corruption. Because look, I know exactly why, right? You people don't want to vote for the Labour Party. Right, you said the Labour Party under Keir Starmer, right? Do you know what I mean? That's like, that's virtually a Tory. That's virtually a Tory light anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, for us under Keir Starmer, right? If the Labour Party get in power, nothing's going to change for the working classes and poor. Okay, nothing's going to change. There's not going to be less food banks, right? We've that opportunity. We've lost that opportunity, right? That opportunity was Jeremy Corbyn. Right. Have you ever heard Keir Starmer talking about food banks? He ain't got time for that. I mean, he ain't got time for that shit at all. Do you know what I mean? And besides, he understands how the shit works. Because he knows that if he starts talking about that stuff, yeah, they'll be like, well, all Keir Starmer ever does is talk the country down. But at the moment, it's just like, well, he ain't got no charisma and there's no opposition. But that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe, and they want you to say it as well. They want you to say, well, there's no opposition. They need you to say that, because the minute you start saying that, they've won. They've already won. Do you know what I mean? I just see I just see like a guy from I can't remember where this guy's from, but he was in Liverpool, yeah, and he had a T-shirt on that said "I love Boris," right? And he went around and he was going around interviewing people on the streets of Liverpool, right? And my God, some of the language from these people of Liverpool about Boris Johnson, you're like, oof, oof. Bell End was stuff, and they, the word plant pot. He's a plant pot. Is that like a Liverpool? Because seriously, I'd say that Boris Johnson, yeah, he's not really liked in Liverpool, right? But I'm sure that the levelling up agenda will very soon start anyway. Do you know what I mean? Even though they've just cut the HS2, right, to a lot of the northern districts where they was going to run it to. But I'm sure the levelling up agenda is going to start, because they might put one of the 40 new hospitals in your district. You never know. This is the thing. So look, as I was saying, right, so I don't understand, right, how you people can look at people like Jacob Rees-Mogg, right, a man who would just say, you know what, slouching around on the green benches, just slouching around. Do you know what I mean? Just a complete and utter disrespect. Do you know what I mean? For the voters and for his and for his fellow colleagues. Do you know what I mean? Right. So I don't know how people just look at these people, but I do know why you won't vote for for the Labour Party. Because I know a lot of you Brexiters and you like TiVos and you working class and you benefit Tories, right? They say, well, Labour's all for immigrants. And there it is right there. And there it is right there. Yeah, you do get a lot of stupid ass immigrants here voting for the Tories. But you look at the Tories here, there's a lot of black and brown faces. Right? So it's not to say they haven't got theirs. Do you know what I mean? But I don't understand how you can look at these people and think, oh yeah, that's where I'm going to vote right there for these people. Right? These people, right, who are so motherfucking rich, right, that you know what, they're hitting the rich list on a regular basis. That's how rich they are. Right? And those are the people who think, oh yeah, well, those are the people we need to vote for. Not for the people who are actually out there, right, for you, for the working classes, right, for the poor, right, for people who have to go to food banks, for people who have to claim universal credit. Right. Oh no, those people, right, that are trying to work for you on those bases. Oh no, want to get rid of them, right? They don't know anything. The Tories know how to run an economy, really. But this is what you get from these people. It's just crazy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I think there's some type of brain malfunctions. And now the farmers, yeah, the farmers fear, right, that Defra will not deliver post-Brexit support. It's George Eustace, so I'm quite sure, yeah, that George Eustace is on the case, right, and things are going to be going very well, right, even though, right, the very same farmers, because most of these farmers, yeah, voted for Brexit, right? So the very same farmers, right, who was getting subsidies every year from the EU, but in fairness to the farmers, right, they was told by the government would match those subsidies. Well, the government has said in the next 6 years they intend to phase them out. So they might get some this year. They might even get a little next year. But in 3 years' time, when they say in 6 years it's going to be phased out, that means in 3 years' time, right, that shit's going to be gone. Just like how legal aid is going to be gone, it's going to be done. Do you know what I mean? But I'm quite sure that the farmers themselves, right, knew exactly what they was voting for when they was voting, right, to lose their own subsidies. Right? But then you have to say, well, is it really fair for me to say, you know what, you're a bunch of fucking arsehole racist twats, right, for believing Boris Johnson when he said, you know what, don't worry, man, we're going to give you the subsidy. We're going to nice you up. We're going to give you the same. We're going to do that for you. Did you? Did the farmers believe? Because I think that the farmers. I mean, you've got to be stupid to believe something like that, isn't it? Especially coming from Boris Johnson, because you know, remember, yeah, that the 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 Remainers was saying all of these things are lies. We was telling you, the farmers, we were saying to the farmers, listen, you're going to lose your subsidies. Of course you're going to. Right? You're getting subsidies nicely from the EU. Right? Just think about what you're doing. But they never thought about what they was doing. All they could think was, you know what, was their minds are clouded with stupid ass racism. And this is what happens. And now their ass is crying about the subsidies that they're no longer going to be getting from the government, especially in the next 6 years. It's going to be gone. That's it. Right? Because what they could do, they could just like change their farms into storage yards or something like that. They just want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go and feed any cows. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm James John Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.